I don't care where you're going. I don't care what building you're in, whether you're in pretrial services, whether you're taking a drug test. It's unacceptable, and I'm revoking your bond, and he now goes with you. What's the name?
Bledsoe. Evading arrest and terroristic threat. He was in custody because he had a pending felony with 228. So he's bonded out on all. The evading, I think, is 12 yards per the officer.
So I see that on 10/17 of 24, he picks up a felony assault. And 3 days later, he picks up a terroristic threat. And then he picks up an evading arrest. And they give him PR bonds on these cases. Is that what happened? And
he bonded out since his last setting.
Hold up, did you catch that? He bonded out, then picked up not one, but TWO, new charges. This is exactly why judges lose patience with repeat offenders. Quick poll. Do you think PR bonds should even exist for people stacking charges like this?
Up an evading arrest.
I will say our cases are the new cases. So I wouldn't call them new. They're just cases. Well, he picked up the felony, and then afterwards he picked up these two misdemeanors.
I don't understand why he's coming here in December when he got a bond in October. How on earth is it?
He was in custody, I think, on the felony.
Oh, I see. Okay, and then he bonded out of the, right, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Please, what happened?
On October 19, 2024, officers were dispatched to a minor crash at a residential home in Harris County, Texas. The call described a male at the location crashing his motor vehicle, then pulling a gun, and was trying to fight people at the location. When officers arrived at the location, they observed people at the location pointing at the defendant. Upon contact with the defendant, the officers introduced themselves as Houston police and told them to stop. The defendant then walked into his residence and came back out approximately 2 minutes later. The officers instructed the defendant to come towards them, but the defendant began to evade on foot from the officer the second time. The defendant ran approximately 12 yards from the officer before placing him in handcuffs. A person search on the defendant revealed he had a prior arrest and an active felony warrant. Upon contact with the complainant advised the defendant was driving up and down the street in his car and crashed. The complainant stated the defendant began to tell the complainant he was going to shoot him and kill him. The complainant advised the defendant then began to reach into his waistband and kept saying he was going to shoot him. The complainant feared for his life and felt threatened by the defendant's statement.
I'll say gun was never found. No charges were the gun.
This is classic Texas courtroom energy. The judge is basically saying, I don't care who you are. I'll drop a bond so high you'll never breathe free air again. That's not just Dramade's legal strategy. Judges crank up bond too. Protect the public, but should it also be a tool to keep defendants locked in by default?
$1 million. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public at all cost. Do you understand?
Yes,
I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what, nothing. I want my county safe. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me that you're not going to have any weapons whatsoever. And if I find that you have a weapon, I can have a contempt hearing. You're looking at 180 days in jail every time if you're caught with a gun. Do you understand? I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is going to be in your system as well. I'm ordering you not to use alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to test you like crazy. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I work for Leland Airmark Bakery.
Okay, that's what you need to concentrate on. Working a lot so that your time is occupied. When you have too much time on your hands, you become self-destructive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have? Thank you. Do you have a Texas driver license? It's a yes or it's a no. Then you're not allowed to drive. On this affidavit, you will also be promising me that you're not going to drive. Do you?
Give a different state's driver's license.
City?
He asked if you have a Texas driver's license. Do you have a driver's license from any other state?
No, I'm from Houston.
Okay, sorry. I'm just making sure he didn't have Louisiana or something.
Not drive. I am also putting on this affidavit that you're not going to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're looking around, you're just, heed this warning, Mr. Bledsoe. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I totally understand. I only have one off day. I just sleep all day.
Did I hear him say that he had an objection?
No, most definitely not.
He was
No.
just asking me a question.
Okay,
No
just
objections.
don't use. Stay out of trouble. You're in enough hot water as it is. You know, the thing is, Mr. Bledsoe, is that a lot of people make very, very poor choices when they're out there in life. And sometimes that choice makes it to where you will live the next 40 years in a 6x9 box. And I'm going to tell you now, I've read have you been to prison before?
Nope.
I want you to hear me. I've read stuff about what happens in prison, and it had me in tears. It was as bad as could possibly, if you think of your worst nightmare, it's worse in our Texas prisons. They don't give a rat's behind about you, and you will be passed around like a proverbial doll. It's awful. Believe me, it's not worth it. Don't have a gun.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Judge, did you want to know contact and referring from as well?
Yeah.
Always, Judge. Why should qualify that? I don't know what we're doing, but yes, right.
Come up. Come up.
Mr. Bledsoe. So I spoke with pretrial judge, and I spoke with the coordinator. Per pretrial, he's tested positive presumptively, because they have to send it to a lab for confirmatory for alcohol and THC. I think they described his behavior as
Threatening.
well, I didn't get threatening, but
I got threatening.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to have you, and I'm not going to stand for your threatening anyone in this court at any time. That is, every part of this is an extension of us. I don't care where you're going. I don't care what building you're in, whether you're in pretrial services, whether you're taking a drug test. It's unacceptable, and I'm revoking your bond, and you now goes with you.
if I can, Judge, I don't believe there has been actually any evidence presented to warrant a
Hold
bond
on, Stephen.
revocation.
She told me yesterday that there had been multiple threats.
So, all right, to circle back, there's a couple things. In speaking with pretrial, I have not received any information about threats. I've received information about cursing and rude behavior.
Yes, Judge. There was
speak.
no threat of harm or anything like that. It was just more so attitude. He was making people in our office a little bit uncomfortable just with his demeanor and the things that he was saying, but none of it, to my knowledge, has been anything, putting anyone in danger, threatening danger, anything of that sort.
This is where I
You
want.
have an open criminal case. You're to be humble and contrite. And when you're not, and when you're threatening, abusive, harassing, I'm going to take care of you and I will light you up like a damn Christmas tree. Do you understand? It is unacceptable, the behavior that you have displayed here with myself, with pretrial, with the people down over there. And if you don't straighten up and fly right, I'm going to be all over you. Do you understand? One false move again. This is not supposed to be a happy time for you. And I don't know what I need to do to get your attention. But next time, I will classify you as a danger, revoke your bond, and make it so high you will have teeth falling out. Do you?
Chodit's the nuclear option. If he slips again, he's branded a danger and basically guaranteed to sit in jail until trial. Imagine being one bad attitude away from losing your freedom. Would you risk mouthing off or keep your head down?
Positive for.
It was THC and alcohol, Judge.
This is where I will add that the court added bond conditions yesterday, so He had the magistrate.
I understand.
Okay.
He did have
So-
these magistrate orders, in October, that I did see that he was instructed over. It didn't have no alcohol, but it did have
October what?
October.
14th, 15th.
Give me the last name again.
Bledsoe, B-L-E-D.
Oh, no. He's still smoking weed then. I mean, if they told him not to use any kind of illegal drugs and he tested positive right now, give me the date, please. Come up, Mr. Bledsoe. You're not off the hook yet.
This is where I will repeat my assertion that since he's out on bond, he's entitled to a hearing where the rules of evidence would apply.
What we're doing right now.
Well, then I'm going to object to hearsay to anything and everything being heard by the court.
What day was the magistrate condition for no using, please? October 20th.
I also give my spiel about THC seltzers that I could buy at Specs that have no alcohol but have THC in them.
You are not to use alcohol. You are not to use illegal drugs. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to test you again in 2 weeks from today. If you test positive for THC again, and I don't care what it is, I don't care if it's a gummy, I don't care if it's a joint, I don't care if it's Delta 8, if it's Delta 9, if it's Delta 352, whatever it may be, you will stay with me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Get whatever records you need. But if you test positive for THC again,
Yes,
you're
sir.
on notice now. You will stay with me.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Have a seat back in there. Come on. But did you have a preference on the reset date, Judge?
2 weeks, whatever you want.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. You said
And
2
I'll
weeks.
test him back and we'll see.
Do you
By
want,
then it'll be sufficient benefit that
Yes,
there's
sir.
just no argument.
do you want him 2 weeks from today testing on that date?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you, Judge.
For sure, Nate. Mr. Patlan?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while your license is suspended. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On December 2nd, 2024, officers were dispatched to a minor accident on Sam Houston Parkway. Upon arrival, the officer met with both parties of the accident as well as a witness. The witness advised that there were minor disturbances on scene in which a knife was brandished by the defendant who was parked across the street from the accident. The officer identified the defendant and discovered he had a mandatory suspension on his driver's license for a second DWI. And the defendant advised that he had still been driving for work. He had personal business despite having personal knowledge of the suspension. The defendant stated he was driving from San Antonio and was only waiting for his coworker who was involved in the accident.
Does he have an open DWI right now?
Does not appear so, Your Honor. It appears that the last DWI he had was in 2019 out of Bexar County.
Bear.
Bear County, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Patlan, I want you to understand one thing. I'm going to find that there's, so wait a second. Someone saw him driving or did the officer see him driving? Because I didn't,
He admitted that he had been driving for work. And he admitted to having personal knowledge of suspension as well.
did anyone see him driving?
No, Your Honor, there's only the
Do
state.
we know even when he was driving?
There was an accident. That's what dispatch involved. And then
Okay, so, all right, okay, so,
there was an accident and then officers arrived and then they made contact with the defendant.
got it. So all this was in response to an accident that he was allegedly involved in.
Yes.
Got it. All right. So I am going to find probable cause, Mr. Patlan.
Sure.
And no, don't. You have the right to remain silent, exercise. I've got about a bunch of DAs here. Anything you say, they're going to use it against you. But let me make something abundantly clear to you. I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit. This is a promise that you're making to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. When we mean no driving, we mean no driving. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kids. Do not drive. If you do, I can have a contempt hearing facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I don't care what your excuse is. You cannot justify at all any reason. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then we can talk. But until that point, I will even do this. This is the number to the DPS Driver's License Division. If you call them, they can tell you exactly what you need to do to get your license back.
Classes now, sir.
There may be, an SR 22, you may have to do all these other things. What you need to do is call them and they can advise you, but don't drive. Do you understand?
And Your Honor, I do have to make a correction. After reading the full DIMS, the defendant was parked across from the accident. It was his coworker that was involved in the accident. He was parked across, Your Honor. And I do apologize. After reading the complete DIMS, the officer wrote that the defendant was parked across the street from the accident, and he made a statement that he was waiting on his coworker who was in the accident.
No one sees him driving.
He was just parked across the street.
No, no, what? Really?
He made the statement that
I get it.
he was in the vehicle and he made the statement.
I took a shower today. No, I mean, you just make a statement. I mean, no, there's no proof.
Admitted to having knowledge of the suspension, and he was in the vehicle parked across the street.
But no one sees him driving?
He did make a statement.
No. All right, I'm going to find no probable cause. Sir, be careful.
I will.
We have enough.
I understand.
All we're asking you to do is follow the law. It's really not hard. Give them a call. They can tell you exactly what you need to do. And that's the way we do things, right? All right, sir. Just hang tight for me, okay?
Sure.
Thanks. Good morning, Mr. Davis.
Good morning.
Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
The complaining witness and the defendant are married. Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas. They met with the complaining witness, who stated that she had called the defendant and noticed that he was intoxicated. The complaining witness then drove to the defendant's location to take his keys to make sure that he would not drive. The defendant
Smart. Wonderful.
The defendant refused to give her the keys. The keys ended up on the ground. The complaining witness went to pick the keys up, and the defendant started grabbing her, pushing her, and hugging her as they both fell onto the ground. Complaining witness said that she fell onto the ground and she felt pain and discomfort, and the defendant was on top of her. The officer noticed the defendant was much larger than the complaining witness, leading him to believe that the defendant falling on top of her would cause pain as well.
So did he intentionally assault? Was it an accident? I don't, read it again. You said he fell on top of her. Isn't that what you said?
Yes, Judge. He hugged her and then they both fell to the ground. And then he had fallen on top of her when they fell to the ground.
This is a specific intent crime.
I don't think we have an offense report, Judge.
Well, nevertheless, this is what we do now. This is the probable cause hearing. You got to have it now.
This is a DVD case, Judge. I don't think that the complaining witness has been ripped yet.
Doesn't matter. We got what we got here, and I don't see intent. In life, Mr. Davis, it's Davis, right? There are people who drink. They become very happy. They're great to hang out with. They crack jokes. They're just the life of the party. And then there are those people, when they drink, they become the devil incarnate. They get horns. They just become terrible. If this strikes a familiar chord, don't drink. It sounds like someone's trying to do something very loving, really. I'm going to find no probable cause now because I don't see intent, but just be careful. You know what I mean? Just, you got one life. Be happy and be nice. All right? Just take a seat for me, please.